All right, as we have a quorum, we'll call to order the City of St. Louis Port Authority for its regularly scheduled meeting held on July 10, 2025 at 9 a.m. May we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Liddy,
Here.
Commissioner Kay,
Here.
Commissioner Blake,
Here.
Commissioner Miller,
Here.
Chair McBride.
Here. All right, at this time, we want to recognize Interim Director of Streets, Kent Flake, for joining us, and newly to the commission, welcome, and we appreciate you having you here with us. We're going to take a few things out of order on our agenda. I believe Jackie Barget has another commitment later this morning. So, Jackie, if you have time to give us an update on everything going down in Jefferson City, and also recognize that Alderman Combs joined us.
Perfect. Thank you, Chair McBride. And I apologize for having to jump ahead and do this from my car this morning. There are a ton of bill signings going on, one of which we're very excited about that I'll tell you about in a minute. But so I'm running into a bill signing after this. So I appreciate you letting me go first. But I think you all are aware our legislative session ended on May 16th. We were successful in getting $14.6 million put in the Department of Transportation budget bill. For that, funding goes out to all of the ports. $1 million of that goes to St. Louis Port Authority. The governor signed that legislation, the budget bill, last Monday. He had a significant amount of budget vetoes and withholds. So we were very excited that our part of that was not withheld and not vetoed, and it was signed. So that's a very good sign for us. And then the other piece that you all have heard me talk about for the past couple of years is trying to get this, what I call the St. Louis Port Fix, done to make sure that we can actually receive those funds from the state. We were able to get that language put on several bills. We got one of those bills, which was an omnibus political subdivision bill, House Bill 199, across the finish line, and the governor is signing that right now at Union Station. Timing wise didn't work out the best for us, because I would have invited all of us to go watch that signing. But regardless, it's extremely exciting. I know Susan is very happy to finally have that done and solidified and not have to jump through loopholes in order to get that funding moving forward. So besides that, I'm sure also just to some of the other stuff that was in House Bill 199 that you all are probably interested in, would allow the city of St. Louis to create entertainment districts, which would allow businesses, especially around like Busch Stadium, around the Dome, to create entertainment districts to try and help promote events, promote safety down there, which I know folks in St. Louis in general are very excited about. So that is also getting signed today. And then the other big thing that I will just give you guys a heads up on, obviously session ended May 16th. The legislature was called back into a special session in June for three things. The main thing that they're trying to get done was a sports stadium incentive package to keep the Kansas City Royals and the Kansas City Chiefs in state, address some appropriation stuff that did not get done during legislative session. And then the original call included $25 million for all cities and counties across the state that have dealt with any type of disaster this year. What ended up passing was the stadium incentive package, a number of appropriations, the $25 million for disasters relief for counties and cities across the state, $100 million specifically for the city of St. Louis for tornado relief, and then a very piecemealed property tax relief package that's kind of scattered across the state. Most Democratic senators' counties, so the city of St. Louis, Jackson County, Boone, Greene, were not included in that. So there, you guys won't see any changes there. But there was a significant amount of changes that were made property tax related wise. And we will see, there's a lot of questions about if the way that it was done is constitutional because you're supposed to tax everyone evenly.
Mhm.
So we will see if that causes issues or not, which has kind of sparked just, and I know property taxes are of interest to everyone, has sparked both the House and the Senate have created interim committees to discuss specifically property tax. So we will see a lot of that happening between now and January when they go back into session. But with that, I don't know if you all have any questions. Most people now, it's a non-election year, are trying to go enjoy some time with their families and travel for a little bit before school kicks back off. But in all, it's a good day for us with that port fix language being signed. And I'll send you all some photos. I know Representative Del Taylor and Senator Steve Roberts specifically, we had some Republican outstate folks that were extremely helpful too, but those two are there. They said they were going to get some photos and send them over to us to make sure that you all at least saw what was happening. But it's a good day. They're very excited about it.
Outstanding. Thank you, Jackie. Any questions for Jackie and what's happening down in either Union Station or Jefferson City at South High?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is
Commissioner
the,
Liddy?
thank you, Chairman. What does the entertainment district allow the city to do?
So it allows businesses to create an entertainment district. It has to go to the vote of the people. So it's similar to a SID and how a SID is created. But it would allow it. The long game run is to allow for revenues to be used to promote entertainment within the district, but it allows for private security to run within the district. So kind of similar to how some of the businesses have come together and been paying for private security on their own. Would allow for street closures during certain events if they wanted to. To be completely honest, I am not an attorney, but from most attorneys that I have seen that have read the language, it's extremely vague. So I think they were trying to kind of leave the door open. It's modeled after another city. It's not Nashville, but to try and create overall, it's a way that they want to be able to promote, hey, come down to St. Louis. We have this special entertainment district that's safer. Really is the biggest draw for it, but also I think in the long run to try and create some revenues through the state that can help promote events and different things within the city of St. Louis. I know like the Convention and Visitor Center, Cardinals, some of the big hotels downtown, Greater St. Louis were big supporters of getting something like that done. And I think now that the bill is getting signed, there will be quite a few thorough reviews of exactly what the legislation does, which I think people were kind of waiting to dive into it until they knew if it was getting signed. But as soon as that is signed, I will make sure you all get that so you know what's going on and what that entertainment district could be used for.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else for Jackie? All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you again for letting me jump forward.
Sure. Well, and while we're getting reports from our lobbyists, Mary Beth, are you prepared to go forward on your report from DC?
Sure thing. So, good morning, everybody.
morning.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak today. And I'm looking forward. I'm the newest member to the Jones Walker team. And just a little bit about me, I grew up in northern New Jersey. And prior to joining Jones Walker, I was on the Committee on Appropriations on the House side. And so probably as many of you know, that is the committee that provides funding to the federal agencies like MARAD, Navy, Army Corps of Engineers, Coast Guard, and many others. I'll also just give a shout out to Susan, who did a great job during Freight Week. Although I've only been with Jones Walker for 6 weeks, but I was able to attend Freight Week, and it was great. I came down, or came to St. Louis for a day and got to tour on the riverboat on the Tom Sawyer, and I even got my picture taken. And so my trip is memorialized through a local newspaper. So if you Google my name, and you'll be able to see that. But anyway, all right, on to some business in DC. So it's been very busy in DC. On July 4th, both the House and Senate and the president signed a massive tax bill into law. It was over 300 pages long. It included about 150 billion for additional defense money, and then also extended tax cuts from a 2017 tax law. There was about 25 billion in there for the US Coast Guard to do some shore infrastructure, training facility, and home ports. We don't have a lot of detail on that yet. So we'll be following that. This bill took a lot of the oxygen out of the room. What would normally be happening now, sort of like on the Hill in DC, is that all the attention would be on trying to get 2026 budgets passed, and that requires doing review, doing hearings, and markup. So that is a little bit off schedule. But so far the House has taken the lead. They have about five of the 12 spending bills have gone through full committee, and the Senate is just starting this week. One of the bills that we're watching very closely, of course, is Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development Appropriations Bill. That will be marked up in committee on July 17th. So we'll be going through that bill and just looking for funding for like maritime administration and how that, and any legislation that could impact the port. It's a very tight schedule. There are only 9 legislative days left in the House and 15 in the Senate before both the House and Senate break towards recess. So there's a lot of talk in DC about what will happen by October 1st, because that's the beginning of the federal calendar year. And the issues at stake is that, will we have bills passed to fund the federal agencies? Will we have to do a stopgap funding? Will there be a portion of the bills get passed and maybe the remaining, go through a stopgap funding? So we are watching that all very, very closely. Another item that's taking up a lot of time in DC is this a rescission bill. You may have heard about that, and that's a bill that it rescinds money, it pulls back unspent federal dollars. So it's passed the House, it's with the Senate now, there are negotiations going on, and the Senate must decide on that, and the House, and it must be signed by July 18th. If it's not signed by that date, then those federal agencies are able to spend that money. So that's a big topic of conversation now that's happening in the Senate. Just to let you know too, another thing about the Coast Guard. I know we've been working as part of a broader strategy to strengthen partnerships across federal agencies and the Coast Guard. Susan has done an excellent job building a strong relationship with the current Admiral David Barada, who serves as the commander of the 8th Coast Guard District. Unfortunately, his 3-year term is coming to an end on August 1st, so there'll be a Coast Guard's change of command ceremony in New Orleans, and Susan, Chris, and I will be in attendance for that. And that'll also give us an opportunity to show our appreciation and thank him for his support, and then also meet his successor, which will be Rear Admiral Will Watson. So we're hoping to use that opportunity to strengthen our Coast Guard relationships and continue with the success that we've had. Those are the key highlights that I'd like to share with you. And if there are any other questions that you have, I'd be happy to take them.
Thank you. Any questions for Mary Beth? Outstanding. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it, and we appreciate the work that you're doing for us.
Great.
Very good. Now back to our agenda. Let's see, the first thing we're going to be taking up next is approval of our minutes for a meeting held on May 8, 2025. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Liddy,
aye.
Commissioner Flake,
Aye.
Commissioner Cone,
Aye.
Commissioner Kay,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Chair McBride.
The motion passes and the minutes are approved. All right, now we'll take up resolution 25 PT 13 relating to a petition to create the Jefferson Arms Port Improvement District. Who's going to walk us through that?
I will. Good morning.
Susan?
Good morning, everyone. The Jefferson Arms, as you know, is that big building right there. And it's been empty and idle for a number of years, and it's now bustling, it looks like. And I think there's some businesses that may have moved in, but the goal is for this resolution is to enable us to create a port improvement district for the building at the developer's request. And the revenue from the Port Improvement District will go towards improvements, continuing development of that building. Here representing the developer is Mark Spikerman, bond counsel, and Nick Hartzler from Steadfast City. And would the commission like to hear from either one of them about this project?
Well, who is Mr. Sparkman representing?
Bond
I'm
counsel.
I'm representing the Port Commission as bond counsel, not the developer.
Thank you. Yeah, so Mark, if you could give us an overview as to this. I believe my memory serves, there was a similar port improvement district that was created for the soccer stadium.
Correct. Yeah, the state law, as of a few years ago, allowed for the creation of port improvement districts by the Port Authority. These are special taxing districts that are able to impose sales and property taxes within their boundaries. And the process for creating them starts with this resolution authorizing the preparation of a petition and holding of a public hearing. If this resolution were adopted, we would go ahead and prepare that petition, give the notices for the public hearing, which would be held on August 14th, or that's our suggested date anyway. And then from there, if the petition is ultimately approved by the Port Commission, it gets filed with the court, and there's a several month-long process to get it finally passed and approved by the court. And then, as Susan mentioned, there are representatives of the developer here who could give you more information regarding the project.
Okay. And the Jefferson Arms is currently within the boundaries of the Port District, is that correct?
It is.
Yes.
The Port District in downtown goes all the way out to the soccer stadium, west from the river.
Correct. All right. We'll let Mr. Hartzler speak and give us some more context about this and the use of the monies from the proposed district.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you very much for the time to speak today. As was mentioned, Steadfast City has been hired to represent Altera Jefferson Arms, who is the developer of the Jefferson Arms building. They've been working on this project for quite some time. It was first approved back in 2017, where the city Board of Aldermen approved a TIF to be put in place for the project. Through a number of issues arising from COVID to interest rates, rising, the project was delayed a number of times. Ultimately, the TIF redevelopment agreement was amended the first time in 2021, which just did not extend the life of the TIF. It just extended the due date of the certificate of substantial completion. And so the project as it stands today is they are seeking to create a 235 unit apartment building, a 225 unit AC Marriott hotel, as well as 7 stalls of retail of varying types, coffee shops, speakeasies, cocktail lounges, tailors, barbers, all on the ground level. And when the developer engaged Steadfast City late last year, because of the length of time it took them to get to where they are today and how much runway had been lost on the TIF, we wanted to find a creative solution that kept the total proportional amount of incentives on the project, relative to what was approved in 2017, without having to go back and ask the city to increase the amount of the TIF or extend the life of the TIF, because we thought that would that wouldn't be a good use of city resources to extend that. And so the solution that we came up with was kind of threefold. One piece that is being performed by the Board of Aldermen through Board Bill 19 is we've added, with the legislation to create the community improvement district for the project, we have added on a special assessment that is a $5 per hotel room night per stay. That, along with allowing the sales tax that is going to be generated from the community improvement district and the transportation development district to run the full course of their life cycle to a full 25 years beyond when the TIF is set to retire in 2040. Those two things, combined with layering on the Port Improvement District, help get the project to that proportional amount of incentives relative to the total project cost. When the project was first approved, the total development costs that were estimated back in 2017 were approximately $105 million. As it stands today, the project is nearing $135 million and rising. And so just trying to, again, keeping that proportional layer. And we thought these solutions were an appropriate way without adding any undue burden onto the city. So as it stands today, the project is running along. As Ms. Taylor mentioned, there's a lot of activity on site. They're actually expecting the first pieces of the project to come online, being the apartment building, by Q4 of this year. Shortly thereafter, the hotel will open, and then lastly, the retail stalls will be the last piece to open, expected sometime in 2026. And so this incentive will help, fill those gaps of the rising costs, to help make this project a thriving success, so that way it becomes a new landmark for downtown St. Louis. So I'm happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Thank you, Nick. So I can clarify, you said there that you were trying to utilize 3 prongs to make this project go forward. And so that's the SID, the TIF, and the Port Improvement District. Is that right?
Correct. It's the second part was really letting both the SID and the TDD run their full course. So in summary, the three prongs are: the SID special assessment is prong 1. Second is letting the SID and TDD run beyond the length of beyond the retirement of the TIF. And then the third prong is the Port Improvement District.
And so it's stacking so this is going to have a higher incremental tax rate than even the soccer stadium, correct?
That is correct.
Any questions from the board for Nick on where we're headed with the Jefferson Arms project?
Mr. Chair, it's Alderman Cohn.
Alderman Cohn?
I just, out of curiosity, where the developers at in terms of minority participation, union participation on the project?
Thank you. We are moving along with having that certified. We've been working closely with SLDC's MWBE office to. There were a number of out-of-state contractors that were not within the MWBE system that our company has been working to get them registered and signed up for, to close that gap that was existing when we got signed on. So, but it is closing. I know they're close on both the African American mark as well as the women business enterprise mark, and then they've been working on the remaining categories as well. So we've been making good progress to close that gap.
Sharing really good progress and knowing numbers are kind of like, do you have a ballpark of what closing that gap means?
I don't want to estimate. I'm sorry, I don't have those numbers in front of me right now, but I can get back to you. I know if I'm sorry, I don't have those numbers in front of me right now.
Okay, and then the whole union participation, paying prevailing wage on projects.
Yes, we that note. Thank you for that follow-up. That note that they are doing well on that. They are meeting all of those requirements.
So they are paying prevailing wage.
Yes.
They're reporting that to SLDC.
Yes.
Okay. And then in terms of the resolution itself, just so I'm clear, so the resolution is, because this property is already in the Port District, correct, Susan?
Yes, yes, it is.
When we expanded the Port Authority or Port District boundaries several years ago, this ended up being included in it because it was reaching all the way out to the soccer stadium, and I had them finagle it along the railroad track down in Southeast City.
Right.
To also include Cleveland High School, just always a selling point there. So is this resolution like, I got a little lost in the weeds here. So is this zeroing the basis or extending the time period out?
Mark, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, this resolution simply authorizes the staff to go ahead and prepare the PID petition and and give notices for a public hearing. The boundaries of the port itself do not change. This is just creating a special taxing district within those port boundaries.
So this is not affecting the assessment. It's just establishing a PID.
Yeah, the PID is a tool. Well, to back up, every other port in the state of Missouri has boundaries which are coextensive with their municipality.
Right.
And so,
which I wanted to do when we did the port expansion, but my colleagues did not. So
we appreciate that all. And so the PID statute permits a imposition of both a sales tax and a
right. So we're just, this is essentially, I wasn't sure. So we didn't have an existing PID for the project. This is creating a PID.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the clarification.
And the PID proposed boundaries are just the Jefferson Arms building.
Right. Okay. And then, so my next question would be for the PID board of directors.
The PID is governed by you, the Port Commission. So it's much different than a CID or TDD that has a separate board of directors.
Great. Okay. Thank you. That's all the questions I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
I would appreciate a follow-up though on the union participation and minority participation on the project though.
Absolutely, will do. I will follow up with you today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a question.
Yeah.
When
Please proceed,
when we add the SID and the other additional taxes, sales tax, what does that mean total for the rate? Do you have those specifics?
1 second.
So a so-called $2 coffee, $2 cup of coffee would be taxed at what rate?
Where are you getting $2 coffie these days, Bill?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to make easy math. You can make it 3 if you want.
Yeah. I believe the generally applicable city sales tax rate is somewhere around like 9.679. So if you add a penny for the CID, a penny for a TDD, and a penny for a PID, you're at 12.679.
Is that a record for the city? Do we know?
The soccer stadium has the same sales tax.
Pardon me?
The soccer stadium has all three of those extra sales taxes as well.
Right, but is it a record? You said it was more than the soccer stadium earlier.
No, it should be the same.
I may have said that, Commissioner,
Okay.
and because I thought that the soccer stadium didn't utilize one of these tools, so I must have been mistaken.
Yeah, the soccer stadium has a CID, a TDD, and a PID, just like this
Okay.
property will. If you move forward. And the Board of Aldermen moves forward on the CID.
So it'll have the same sales tax as the soccer stadium. Okay. Any other questions from the commissioners?
Mr. Chairman,
Please proceed, Commissioner Liddy.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through to the applicants. You mentioned a number of retail on the bottom. Has any stores actually signed up for occupancy? Because of all the closings downtown, I'm just wondering who's going to occupy the retail. Have you signed any contracts? Or is there any interest, or can you give more specifics? Because I hate to see this beautiful, because I sit across the Board of Election, so I see this building in this transformation every day. I hate to see the whole bottom floor empty because you can't fill it. Can you give me some information on that?
Thank you. So at this point, they are planning on being the owner of all of the retail spaces, owner and operator. So they would be the tenants of the space. As far as some of the restaurants that they have a number of concepts that they are pursuing, that they are trying to make the partnerships with the right chefs to come in here. But again, they would be the occupant themselves. So any leasing or contracts for the space would be irrelevant based on themselves being the tenants.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right. Are there any further questions?
I don't have a question, Mr. Chair, but just a statement. If we're planning to take a vote on this today, I'm going to be voting probably present, just as I would like to see some of that information before taking a vote.
Correct. And I think what the process will be for this is to authorize the preparation of the petition, and then that's going to, I believe, the petition itself is going to come back before us with the specifics that I think we all would like to see as far as the actual numbers that will be proposed and things of that nature. Is that correct, Susan?
Yeah, Mark, can you confirm that as well?
Mark just had to drop off for another meeting. So.
Yes, I believe that is correct. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so this, I concur, Alderman, that we need additional information, but that'll be coming back before us, is my understanding.
Thank you. I appreciate that. When I hear things like I believe so, my understanding is I'm still going to vote present. Thank you.
Oh, I'm not trying to change your vote.
No, I appreciate the perspective and additional context, Mr. Chair.
Very good. Anything else from the commissioners? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve resolution 25 PT 13.
Commissioner Liddy.
Aye.
We need a motion and a second, please.
I'll move to for the vote.
Do we have a
To
second?
approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Liddy,
Aye.
Commissioner Cone,
Present.
Commissioner Flake,
Aye.
Commissioner Kay,
Present.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Chair McBride.
Aye. And with a majority of our votes, then the motion passes and the resolution is approved. Thank you, Mr. Hartzler.
Thank you.
Do we have any? Go ahead. Oh, thank you, Nick. Do we have anything in open agenda?
No.
Can you give us an update, Susan, on, I believe that we were talking about an updated ramp to the visiting steamboats that go up and down the river?
Yeah, the current Tom Sawyer, Becky Thatcher, moored to 2 or 3 barges lashed together. And we'd like to expand on that idea. So visiting cruise boats like the Viking and the American Cruise Lines could do that as well. And I presented that idea to the Coast Guard 4 years ago, and they were not supportive. So we just let it ride. And then we've now cycled through. So we're having a new Coast Guard captain of the port, whom I met. There was a change in the command a few weeks ago, and I met her. And so we're starting to talk to her. So in order to move forward with that, we need to have Coast Guard approval. The 2 visiting cruise lines are willing to help pay for it. And Tom Sawyer and Becky Thatcher are supportive of it. So it's moving forward. It's just at this point, it's a concept that we're developing with relevant partners. Also, there's a bill to enable the Port Authority to lease the improved wharf where this would be built, which then gives us the opportunity to turn around and get parking revenue and to clean up the levee and to make repairs to the cobblestones, and all that would be part of a new mooring situation. So that's in the works. There's nothing concrete at this point to report.
All right. Yeah, if you could keep us apprised on the progress of that, the sooner we can get that improvement occurring, I think the better for our visiting lines. And then
Great.
where are we? You're going to reinstitute the meetings with the various city and stakeholder groups down on the improved wharf, I believe, with streets, and now we have our new interim director, Director Flake, and the police, ourselves, and other stakeholders. I think that at the last meeting, we were going to explore reinstituting those meetings to get a cohesive policy and plan in place. Is that proceeding at all?
Yeah, there's an effort underway by Gateway Arch Park Foundation to continue to make improvements to LKS, Lenore K. Sullivan. So they're a stakeholder. We've talked to LRA about possibly doing a trash pickup. And we did talk to the former interim director of streets about trash and mooring there. And we've put in some new mooring rings because the old ones had been ripped out or busted. So now that Kent's here, we'll be talking to him further about how to handle improvements to the levee. So that is also moving forward.
Very good. And thank you, Kent, for appearing, and also sometimes we ask you to take on not additional duties, just duties that had been performed in the past would be a better way of saying it. And I'm sure you're aware of that. So, all right, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to ask the street director about tornado debris cleanup and how that's going. I do not, well, currently I'm displaced. My house had a lot of damage, I'll put it mildly. If you saw a picture of a dollhouse and a woman cleaning the glass up, that was me. And I am now residing within the Port Authority district downtown since we're out of the house, but my house, the block, hasn't been cleared of debris, which makes it pretty difficult to get a dumpster in and get everything cleaned up and make some progress. So I just wanted to get an update on that. It's just as an aside, but like I said, I'm now living within the Port Authority district downtown.
That was just a way for us to get you to move to the Port Authority district, but so I guess I have one question on that. Would be, is it more tree debris or is it more what we call construction and demolition debris?
It's tree debris.
All right.
And there's some cones in front of each pile of debris, but that's about it.
Yeah, so we've been picking up well, I would say a ton but that's completely inaccurate. But we'll just go with a lot. And then we've also had, our forestry's had a contractor in picking this up. So there have been little spots, we're talking about a sixth of the city here that have been missed for one reason or another. But I will make sure a crew runs by the 5700 block to look for tree debris today.
I appreciate it.
Yep, not a problem at all.
Thank you for raising it and thank you for addressing it, Ken. Anything else from the commissioners? Hearing none, our next meeting is scheduled for August 14, 2025. As we've completed our agenda, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.